Hello, I'm Daniela, and welcome to the final month of Stitch With Me in 2023. Today's video is the final prompt. All the previous prompts will be linked below, and there'll be a wrap-up video as well as a video showing how I bind the book. I look forward to seeing your work, so please continue to post it in our Facebook group, and that link will be included below as well. Today's prompt is entrance. It's kind of a fun prompt. The irony of entrance on our last prompt isn't missed on me, but I think it's a very fun one. There's so many possibilities, so let's get started. So for the last prompt, entrance, I'm really going to go to town and have some fun with it. I pulled out all these neat little things. I'm going to do the entrance of a Christmas door, and I'm kind of thinking like a Santa's workshop type door. So I have some bold colors. I have these fun little string of lights. I have this little craft felt in the shape of trees. I've got these pipe cleaners I have some ideas for, and these teeny little buttons that kind of reminded me of gumdrops. So I'm thinking of doing something along those lines. It should be a lot of fun. I have my background piece, so I'll start by cutting that to size, and I'll move all these little extras off and away for now, just so that I don't have a cluttered workspace. So I'll just cut this background piece to size. Just trim it down a little bit. And now I want to make my Santa's workshop, but I'm really just focusing on the door. I'm not doing the entire little village here. So I'll cut this down to size. I might not see my background piece, and that's okay. The muslin will just give me a little bit of an added texture and something to really stitch to. So I've got my little background piece, and I'll trim that down a little bit as well to tidy that up. And now I want to create that door. So I have a little piece of batting here, which is about the height that I want to make the door. And I'll just try and cut it down to the proper width. So that's pretty good. Trim off the edge here, just because it's pinked on the bottom. You don't need it that way for this. And now I want to cover this with some of this red fabric. It'll just make it a little more dimensional. So I'll trim this down. And now I just want to fold over the fabric, so I have just a little dimension on this door. Now I'm going to use just a little glue stick as a temporary hold, just to keep my fabric in position. Now this helps me if I do this in stages, because I can see it kind of coming to life this way. And I can flip this over, kind of have my door coming, and I like that. So the first thing I want to do is attach the door to the background. I also have this little upper level and lower level that I want to combine. So I'm just going to clip just little corners off them so that when I fold it, the edges won't stand out quite as much. Now I'm going to take just a little bit of this pearl cotton and sew these edges closed. So I'm coming in from the back, flipping it over, and just making a few stitches to tack it down into place. I'll knot that off, and then I'll do the same on the bottom. So once I have my little door, it's kind of like a little cushion at this point, I want to set it in place. I'm just going to put it down right where I want it, and now I'm going to stitch a very little stitches all the way around just to hold it in place. And I'll just go around the perimeter here. So there I have the beginnings of my little entrance here, my door stitched onto my piece, and I really love that little dimension. It's just a little bit of height that I like. So now I get to actually play and bring in all these little extras here. And I just think those are so fun to work with. So to start with, I have these little trees that maybe I'll put one on either side of the door. I guess I'll go with the little ones here, just because I don't want to block the door. Although I could do the larger ones and have them come off the page. So see how the little ones look. Yeah, the little ones are cute. They're like little mini bushes here. So I'll add a few of those. Can always change that up too if I don't like it. Oh, I can actually, I think I like that better. I think I like building them up so that they're a little higher. And I'll play with that a little more, but that's starting to come out the way I like it. And I could trim the edges right off the card. I have this little Christmas lights here, and since I want to have more than just 2 or 3, I think I'll double it up. Maybe I'll do 2 strands just to really get the feel of that. And now I want something for the main door here. Kind of like the idea of having just those double paneling. So I'll just do some stitching there to give the paneling an effect. And then I want to have a little wreath. And I saw on TikTok how they did a little wreath using a pipe cleaner. So I think I'll try that as well. Now I don't know if I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit larger scale than I want. So I'll attach these pieces and play around with this. To get this tree nice and tall, I think I'll just trim it a little bit here. And I can add it nicely. I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'll stitch these 2 trees on the sides. I'll stitch my little paneling on the door. I'll attach these 2, and then we'll create that wreath with that pipe cleaner. So I've attached all the pieces to my little entrance panel here. I've got my trees, my little Christmas lights, and now I want to make a little wreath for the door. So I saw a wreath made on TikTok. I don't know if this is going to work or not, where you take the pipe cleaner and you wind it around something to give it a little dimension. I don't know if that's going to be too much dimension for my little door here. This is just a small little project. I don't need a really big one. So I'll try it. I'll wind it around. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'll slide it off the little wire here. And I'll just clip it. And now I can make it whatever size I want. So I'll take the ends and just straighten them a little bit. And then twirl them together. Yeah, I've got a little wreath there. That's kind of cute. It worked. So now I'll just press the ends. So I've got a little wreath to hang on my door. And I may have made it a little bit too big, but I think that'll work. This is just a very experimental piece. So I'm going to take some more of my green thread and stitch it down to my door. And then I think I want to add a little bow. I also have these little white buttons that I can use as embellishments somewhere. Not really sure. Maybe just on the tops of each of the tree, I'll add a little white button. So I'll see how that works out. So I've attached my buttons. My wreath, I just use a little couching stitch. You can see on the back all the stitches used to create this piece. And now I think I want to hang something on the door. Maybe a little red ribbon. So I'll take some of this pearl and I'll just make a very rustic ribbon. So for the tail of the bow, so I have my bow here. I'll stitch it down and then maybe add a few more tails. So I'll just do a couching stitch to come up underneath, splitting those tails and coming down to secure it into place. I'll do this a couple of times. Now I'll clip these threads here. It's a cute little bow already. It only has the little tails, but I think that's kind of cute. I'll just knot off the back. And I have my little entrance. I have to attach it to my card. Just with a few more stitches of this red thread. And then my December prompt is complete. And that's my final prompt in Stitch With Me in 2023. So that's how I complete my final prompt in Stitch With Me in 2023. I thought it was appropriate to throw in Christmas to echo the month of December for that prompt, and it was a really fun activity for me. I thoroughly enjoyed this process and this workshop. Now it's not quite over. We still have a couple more videos showing how I bind my book, and then just a wrap-up video. So it'll be brief, and it'll just show you all of the cards that I've made, all of the prompts. I enjoy seeing your work in our Facebook group, and I look forward to seeing more of it. Not only your completed prompt for December, but if anybody would like to share their completed series of prompts, I'd love to see that as well. Thank you for joining me. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe.